Good morning, everyone. All right. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a quiz and how you spell my name. What I tell people all the time is, as long as you vote for the guy with the longest name, you're okay with me. My name is Enos Pierre-Antoine. I'm not exactly from around here. I'm originally from the DC area. I went to law school in Florida, and I remember about 24 years ago, a judge named Judge Green invited me to move to the 8th Circuit. I had no idea where the 8th Circuit was. He told me about Gainesville, and my reaction was, what is Gainesville? What is that? He gave me the Gator sign, and he was, the interesting thing, he was from Brooklyn. And I'm like, why does this Brooklyn guy have such a fascination with Florida? So I went and talked to Mr. Green, Judge Green, and he convinced me to come, and I did. That was 24 years ago, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I tell people all the time that if it wasn't for that decision, I would never have known that baby tastes so good. Or that it's, I heard that it's illegal to put sugar in the grits. Is that correct? I still do sometimes. But one of the things that Judge Green imparted into me was the need to do a lot of community outreach. So one of the first things he did was he sent me and my counterparts to go speak at Duval Elementary School, which is a school which is in a very vulnerable area where it's a high crime area. He thought it was important for me to go speak to the kids, and we continue to do that. And that was a tradition that we continually carried on. So community service, outreach became a big part of my life. Now, 24 years later, I made Florida my home. I got married here. We have 3 children here. I've been married for about 20 years. I worked at the city attorney's office. I worked at the public defender's office in Marion County. And then I opened my own practice, became a businessman. I also taught at the University of Florida Law School. But again, throughout that time, I made community outreach a big part of my life. I became members of different boards, worked at Legal Aid on the board of directors. I've been on the board of various other charities, et cetera, that focuses on community outreach. And one of the things that I've also focused on is have former clients of mine speak to young kids about the bad mistakes that they made. And I think that's extremely important. One of the things, one of the things that I think is important as your state attorney is it's a big circuit. That means that every place has different needs. In Alachua County, there is a crisis with gun violence, and it's a huge problem. Different counties, there are heavy drug use, etc. But what's important is that the state attorney needs to get out of his office and meet with people. That's how we're going to solve whatever issue that there may be. You got to be approachable, and you got to be reachable, and you got to be willing to talk to people wherever they are. And that's why I'm here. I'm willing to go anywhere. I've traveled, I've worked in all the counties in the circuit. We've got some issues that we need to work on. Again, we've got issues dealing with gun violence. We've got issues dealing with drug abuse. We got to make certain that people have the help that they need, whether it's drug court or mental health court. Those are becoming bigger issues in all the counties. We need to work together. I believe that my experience, my diverse experience in both in private practice and as a prosecutor and on various boards and doing community outreach uniquely prepares me for this position. Again, my name is Enos Pierre-Antoine, and I'm ready to serve as your next state attorney. And remember, guys, you're going to vote for the guy with the longest name. Thank you so much.
And next up in the state attorney's race is incumbent Brian Kramer.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm Brian Kramer. I'm the state attorney for the 8th Judicial Circuit. And for those of you who don't know, that's Alachua, Union, Baker, Bradford, Levy, and Gilchrist County. It covers 4,300 square miles. We handle about 18,000 individual criminal cases per year. We prosecute them. I am the Republican candidate for state attorney, and I've been working for you in this office as a prosecutor for 25 years. I'm extremely proud of the people who I serve with, the people who work here in your community to keep this community safe. And I really want to emphasize that having conservative, consistent prosecution with tried and true, tested ways of keeping communities safe is what's right for Baker County. You are blessed to live in Baker County. You are blessed because, and as I've said before, I know this because I live in Alachua County. But you are blessed here because you have good law enforcement. You have a safe community. Every community has problems. Every community has issues, right? But I can point to other communities, especially Gainesville, that has much, much worse problems than what we have here in Baker County. And there are reasons for that. And one of them is good, consistent prosecution. I've been your state attorney for the last 4 years. Before that, I was the executive director of the state attorney's office for the 9 years preceding that. Meaning I ran the fiscal and the non-lawyer side of the office. I know how the state attorney's office works. I've been running it for the past 13 years. And I'm doing a good job of it. You know how you know that? Because you don't ever hear about us. We're not in the paper, right? We're not a problem. We're not having issues that the community needs to address, right? If you don't know who the state attorney is, that's probably good, right? You might know the people who work in my office, several of them are here today, but we're doing a good job for this community. We want to keep doing a good job for this community because I think the people here in Baker County want Baker County to remain Baker County. You don't want to be Gainesville. You don't even want to be Union County, right? You want to be Baker County, and that's all right with me. And I think that by keeping me as your state attorney, that's what you're going to get. Consistent, strong law enforcement and prosecution of the people who need to be prosecuted. Having 25 years of experience in prosecution, folks, you know what it means? It means knowing the difference between those who need to be sent to prison and taken out of the community so they can't hurt you, they can't hurt your family, and knowing the difference between someone who's made a mistake, someone who may need a second chance. This is what we do. This is what 25 years of experience allows you to make the distinction between, is who are those two people? And I have good people who work in this community, good lawyers who've been here a long time, who want to stay here to make those decisions for this community. And I work with them every day doing that. So I'm asking for you all to vote for me in November, Brian Kramer, the Republican candidate for state attorney. Remember, I know you're all going to show up, vote for President Trump. I need you to keep going down the ballot and find me. I should be about 3 races down below him, and please vote for me for state attorney so we can keep having Baker County be Baker County. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jessica. I was honored to speak last night before the conservative women's group. So if you were there, bear with me because I'll probably, like a lot of candidates, say the same thing. Every day in our Florida legislature, we work hard to make Florida a better place. Since I was elected first in 2018, of course, I'm the first legislator from Baker County in over half a century, if you can imagine that. We've been a strong ally with our Republican fellow legislators, a strong Florida law and order person and a law and order state. Folks, you go to other states and they have budget deficits. In Florida, we have historic reserves to pay down state debt. We have supported our first responders and made our streets safer. We eliminated government permission slips last year, holding Floridians back from exercising their constitutional Second Amendment rights under constitutional period. That was my bill. We balance our budget as Republicans. We live up to our promises that we make to our constituents. I have to run every 2 years. I drew a Democrat opponent about the last week of qualifying, and just like the state attorneys, I'll be on your ballot in November. Florida, I believe, has always chosen the brighter path. You can empower parents like we have done and provide every child with the opportunity to thrive, or you can saddle future generations with unsurmountable debt and uncertainty. Florida has chosen the brighter path. If you watched the Republican convention a couple of weeks ago, all the shots you saw were Republican legislators from Florida on the front row. That's because Florida leads the way in this nation. Let me tell you some of the things we've done in this Republican legislature since 2018. We've banned critical race theory. We've shut down sanctuary cities in Florida. We've fought back against rogue corporations who try to push their liberal agendas upon your children. I've always said that we won't let Florida become like California, New York, or Illinois. Folks, liberal interests seized those states years ago and really have looted the taxpayers in the form of higher taxes and endless regulation. In Florida, you'll see sales tax holidays, not budget deficits. Heck, in Florida, we've even kicked men out of women's sports. Maybe I probably didn't say that right. Your Republican legislature has kicked men pretending to be women out of women's sports. We've enacted parental rights in education, combated public disorder with an anti-riot bill, enacted election reforms to ensure our ballots remain safe, banned residential picketing in your neighborhoods, passed record teacher, law enforcement, and really important in this area, correctional officer raises. As a legislature, we try to be responsible. We try to be accountable. We try to be fiscally conservative in all that we do. We had 58 appropriations passed for our 5 counties. I represent Baker, Columbia, Union, Bradford, and half of Alachua County. I used to get Swanee and Hamilton. But we passed 58 appropriations projects, the most in the legislature. We only had 3 vetoed, none in Baker County. Here's what we did for Baker County this year. We got $900,000 to put a new roof on that leaky courthouse down there that the county can't afford to do. That's what we do, bring dollars back. We got another almost $500,000 for that Glen Fire Station. That's on top of the $850,000 we got 3 years ago to build the fire station. We're going to build a new museum at Old Lusty Battlefield. That museum's fallen down. It was built in 1949, and we've got $400,000 to go toward that project. Right by your ball fields, that's state dollars of work we got last year. $600,000 to redo the NAB sports complex. Once again, something that's hard for commissioners to do. $40 million for the new Legacy Elementary School. Well, guess what? That wasn't enough. We needed $2 million more to get the water out there. So we rebuilt the water processing plant at Florida State Hospital and got a 2-for-1 there. So that's $42 million. Here's a real important one, $1.3 million for accounts on aging. That building's about to fall down and everybody runs on, I'm going to help senior citizens. Well, Chuck Brandon brought $1.3 million and be out there and get that man. I'm out of time. $650,000 for the county fire truck, $600,000 for the city fire truck, $1.262 million for the Glen Fire Station. And here's the most important thing, the thing I didn't do. I didn't let them privatize or close your Northeast Florida State Hospital. That was the governor's policy. I thought it was a bad policy, and we fought against it. Probably the hardest battle we fought. So sometimes it's not what you get, it's what you don't get. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Philip Jefferson, and I am a candidate for County Commissioner District 1, which governs Sanderson, Olesta, small part of Monterey. And first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Ms. Provette and press and her staff for making this opportunity available to us to allow us to come out and be able to share today. First, I want to begin by just saying a little bit about who I am as a person. First of all, I am a Christian, and I have been for over 32 years now. And I'm considered, I'm a generation from the Baker County. My parents were Moselle and Robert Jefferson. I'm retired from the Department of Correction in 28 years. I retired at the rank of a major. And I want to share a little bit about what we did here. At the rank of a major, I was supervising approximately 400 130 employees. And we have to make sure that the employees were trained. We have to make sure that they have the right attire, the right equipment. And also, I would like to say, more importantly, I probably went to hundreds of family homes during their time of need. But we had to go by and check on our employees because if there was a death in the family or there was injury or sickness, well, we go by and check on them. We also housed a little over 2,100 inmates at the time. And also, if you got 2,100 inmates, then you got 2,100 families that you have to deal with. I answered numerous calls concerning the family and the inmates that are incarcerated. But however, I was assigned by Governor Bush at the time to what I believe were one of the most important duties that carried out by the state of Florida, and that was the execution team. The average employees don't get assigned to this team. If you're not a little strong up here, it can mess with you. I was assigned to do and conduct numerous audits at different institutions. And what I found out about audits when we do them, when we go to other institutions, I always searched out their best practices, what they do really well that really works for them. And I would bring those things back to our institution, and I would implement them there, and they worked well for us. And those are some of the duties that I carried out as a correction officer major. In fact, a lot of those duties mirrors what we do here as a county commissioner. I'm a husband to my wife, Anita, and I'm a father to my 3 children, which I'm proud to say that all 3 of them are college graduates. In fact, just last month, the month of June, my oldest, my daughter, Portia, she opened up a daycare there in Sanderson. And what's unique about that, this same daycare used to be a nightclub back in the day, which caused a lot. But now it's a daycare, and we're teaching the young children a different way now. And I'm so grateful for that, and I'm very proud of him. I also have one son-in-law who served in the U.S. Air Force. I have one grand, and also I'm a friend. I'm a friend to many. And also I mentor. I mentor a lot of young boys in my community, where I take them to different colleges and trade schools just to show them their next step of what they can be and try to lead them on the right path. But most of them are without a father. And today, I stand before you as a county commissioner, as a candidate for county commissioner, District 1. And over the past couple of months, I had the opportunity to go out and to meet people.
30 seconds.
That changed my speech. On August the 20th, you guys have a decision to make. And I hope I'm a part of that decision. And I hope I'm a part of it in a positive way. But on August the 20th, let's vote for Philip Jefferson, and let's move Baker County forward. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ronald Mann, candidate for District 1 County Commissioner. Thank you to the press for having us forum today, and thank you for being here. You're here today, you've probably been to a political rally in Baker County recently. You've seen the people turn out. You may have been to a high school football game or a softball game. You may have went to an away high school football game where Baker County people turned out more than the home team. That's the pride we have here in Baker County. If you ride around the county, count the churches, if you talk to your friends, the different churches in the community, we have a religious community. We have a faith-based community. Why would somebody want to build 2,000 homes in Baker County? Because of those things. Because of our passion for what we do, our passion for the county, our love for what we have. But we need to hang on to what we have. We need to manage growth. We can't just allow a developer to come in and shift their cost to us, they have to pay their own way. I've been blessed to be appointed by 3 Republican governors to public service, not paying jobs, public service, volunteers. 20 years on the Baker County Education Foundation. The foundation's raised over $1 million for teacher mini grants and for student scholarships. 20 years on the Baker County Development Commission. We were able to bring the $740 million Plant Ag project here, the S2A project that hadn't started developing yet. We have other businesses that we brought here for jobs in Baker County. So you don't have to leave Baker County to work every day, not facing the sun going in and facing the sun coming home in the afternoons. I've done that for many years. I'm blessed that both of our sons live and work here in Baker County. My wife and I have lived here all our life, and we've been married for 41 years. Like many of you, we take great pride in our community and our heritage. That's why I'm running for county commissioner. I want to preserve what we have. I want to plan for what's coming. If you grew up any time in your nearby age, you went through Yulee, and it used to be a red light on the way to Fernandina. If you get off I-95 now, you'll see what explosive growth can do. It's changed the world, and it can happen here just that quickly. You talk about growth in 5 years, 2,000 or 2,500 new homes here in 5 years. See what you got when you get done. It's an explosive growth pattern that's been on all the outlying areas of Baker County. We have to address that possibility and be prepared. Our infrastructure is not ready for it. Our county agencies are not ready for it. And I don't want the current taxpayers to foot the bill for what the new developers, and they come in and make millions of dollars and move on, and they leave you stuck with what's left. So I want us to be prepared. I want us to take the time to address the issues that we already have. We have infrastructure issues. We do need to develop parks and recreation outside. We have a lot of great areas in the center of Baker County, and have plenty. We have Shoals Park, and we have Boy Scout camp, boat ramp. We have a lot of things going on. The ag complex is being revised, but we still need to address that recreation in Sanderson, Margaret, and Moleston. They don't have the equal opportunities for recreation that we have here. So we have areas we need to address, and I want to help you address those areas. Not on my own. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to work with you. I want you to know that I'm working for you as your next county commissioner for District 1. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Ronald Mann, the Baker County Commissioner in District 1. Thank you.
And thank Mr. Van and the press for allowing us this time. Woo, you gotta follow all of that. My name is Lucius Lee. I've been in the county for 54 years. My grandparents, if you've been in the county for 50 years, you remember my grandparents were Julius and Louise Williams. My grandmother on my dad's side was Miss Herman Lee. I'm a product of this county. I didn't go anywhere else. I grew up right here in this county in Moderetta. I want a chance to serve this county more. I've been on numerous committees for the county. I've been on things for the Department of Education for the county, the FCAT Sensitivity Committee for the county for 9 years. I've been on the Recreation Advisory Board. I was a chairman for 7 years. I know what he's talking about when he talks about recreation, because before they redid that park in Margaretta, I wouldn't take my grandson down there at all, and I live in Margaretta. It was the same equipment that I had when I was growing up. They never changed it. Our parks were disastrous. They have improved them. Shoals Park is a big plus, but people from Margaretta, Sanderson, and West are not going to Shoals Park. They're just not. The kids that are on the other side of the railroad tracks are not going to Shoals Park. We got to have places for our youth to go, because if we don't have places for our youth to go, whoever's the sheriff, Stoddard's going to see a whole bunch of them. Because they have nowhere to go, they have nothing to do, and when you have nothing to do, you create trouble. And as a county commissioner, I want to address that issue. We're going to have growth. You can't stop growth. I got a 1-year-old grandson sitting over there sleeping. I don't care how much I want to stop it from growing, I'm not gonna stop it from growing. I gotta keep feeding him, I gotta keep changing his diaper when he mess up. We gonna have things that get messed up. We just gotta deal with the mess up, clean it up, and then keep moving forward. You don't retract from things. And as a county commissioner, I am ready to do more work for this county because I live here and I love it. I've traveled. This is one of the best counties in the state. For one, there is nothing like a Friday night. I coached here for years. The whole county shuts down. It's just like Friday nights. It's shut down. Why? Because we have our young men playing football representing our county. This county is great. We want to continue to work. Our infrastructure is terrible. Last year, I worked for the school district. They had to excuse kids from school because buses could not get down dirt roads. That's not a school district problem, that is a county problem. That has nothing to do with the school district. When you got roads that buses can't get down, where they got to excuse kids from schools, we need to do something real quick. We need to address the issue. That should be our priority, because if we say kids come first, then we should make sure kids come first. Not bringing in big projects, not doing all this other stuff. If they come first, they come first. If they don't come first, they quit saying they come first. My thing is, we're going to say kids come first, get everything in place where kids do come first. They're our future generation. They're looking at us. And right now, what they're seeing is not good, because they are not first. But we say that, so we want to get our infrastructure. We're going to have a lot of big companies come in. They want to come in for a reason. We'll attract them, but they shouldn't be allowed to come in and not pay the price. They should be paying the price to come to Baker County, not us. And as you vote for me for county commissioner, I will do my best. I do not quit. I work hard, and I work hard, and I work hard. My wife is sitting there, my two kids are sitting there, Lucius and Tanisha. My grandson is sitting there. Why? Because I believe in this county. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm ready to work for this county in a bigger capacity. I'm ready to collaborate, do what I need to do. And you can always reach out to me. I'm very friendly. My wife is Deborah Lee. I've been married for 34 years. We've been together for 40. I'm committed to something. Been together for 40 years, been married for 34. When I say I'm going to commit it, I'm committed. I stick with it. Has every day been good? No, but I stuck with it. And that's what you need for a county commissioner, because it's not going to be good every day, but you stick with it. People are not going to like it every day, but you stick with it. So remember on August 20th, Lucius Lee for county commissioner.
Thank you. I can excuse my voice. I got hoarse last night. I've been hoarse ever since. Thank you, Jason, for holding this event to give us a chance to talk to everybody. But I understand a lot of the things that the other people running for commissioner saying, because I live those things too every day in my life. You know, I have been married to my wife for 38 years. We have two children here in Baker County that we raised. Went through many events, been in 4-H since they was this big in Baker County. You know, so I understand. Our roots go deep here. My wife, her family's been here since before the Civil War. I'm multi-generational. That doesn't necessarily qualify me for anything, but it does make me understand what the small town life is about. You know, and what we appreciate and why we appreciate it being here. For me, it's God, it's family, it's country. Community is right there with it. And I just want you to know that I'm running for this position to work for the people. I'm not running for this position for myself. I don't need anything from this. I'm running for this position because when I started, I strictly wanted to run for you, each and every one of you, and all the citizens of this community, because I want to make a difference in my community. I want my community to be better, and that's why I'm running. I understand we got a lot of fast growth coming to the community. We got to manage that growth. Each and every one of us know that. You got to do it in a way that's not detrimental to your community, not detrimental to your county. Our infrastructure is definitely not going to handle it. We got to get caught up on that. We have issues, but we got to take care of them. I want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm what's called a serial entrepreneur. I have started several companies. My first company I borrowed $2,000 and I had $2,000. And in 4 years, I doubled every year my sales. And in the 5th year, I sold that company. I set a sales record in 2005 for 400% of a product in the Florida market that had been here for many, many, many years, and that sales record still stands today. My second company, we went from 0 to 4 million in 1 year. I'm the person that gets it done. I'm not the person that makes excuses. I'm not the person that says, well, we can't get it done. On a board of 5, yes, it takes 3. But you gotta form those corroborations with other people to get these things done, forge the relationships, and as an entrepreneur, that's what you have to do. You have to get these things done to get something passed for our community, something done for our community, something that will make us a better community. And there again, serving you, each and every one of you, is a very large part of that. I've been in construction for over 30 years. I understand all this stuff that's coming. I've seen yearly, St. Johns County. I've seen all that stuff coming. I was in the middle of all that. I was going to Palm Valley when they had a drawbridge. I know. I look at it now. Man, it's crazy how it's out there. So I understand what the growth can do and what it can do to a community. It can literally blow you up. Baker County is a small county. We're going to grow. We can't help it. We're right on the corridor. This is what's going to happen. But we got to manage it. We got to manage it in a way that's not detrimental to the citizens, not detrimental to the county, and doesn't cost the citizens. It costs the people that are here running the development, because it can cost us and it can hurt us bad. The difference between me, the difference between me and the other candidates, I've been employer, I've been employee. When you're an employer, you have a whole different point of view. You understand what employee retention is in this county. We have a problem with employee retention because we train people, we spend money here, and they go to work somewhere else after 6 months or a year. That costs the county. Every time that person goes and leaves this community, that costs the county. We've got to do a better job at retaining our employees in this community. Well, I just want you to understand that I'm here for you. I'm not here for myself. My phone number is on my signs. Only candidate with my phone number on my signs. If you need anything, you call me. Because a vote for me is a vote for you, each and every one of you. Thank you for your time.
Good morning. I got butterflies in my stomach right now. I feel like I see my wife for the first time. You know? Speaking of my wife, Lainey's in the back right here. Been married for 2 years now, or 3 years, I'm sorry. I'm bad, Lord mercy, it's not Chris. Been married for 3 years, we have a 2-year-old at home and one on the way. And so we're digging our roots here in Baker County. Very excited to start a family and raise them here, raise our 2 sons here. My family, Wesley and Tina Mobley, are my parents. Emery and Cecil Mobley. And Cecil, she drove the school bus for years for the school system. And on the other side, it was Ben and Pat Fish. They were heavy in politics as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting out and helping make a change in Baker County. I have went to school. I was telling everybody I look better on paper than I do in the mirror. But I went to school and got an accounting degree, and I also got a finance degree. I was taking all my electives in finance just in case I failed out of accounting. Never failed out, so then I was 5 classes away from the finance major. Went back and got it as well. So really decorated as far as that goes. Now I work for Burnham Construction in local right here, it's right beside Walmart DC. Working for David Burnham, I have been his accountant for the past 8 years. And so I have prepared budgets, I have went over all the finances in order to make all the tough decisions when it comes down to end of year tax preparations and just what makes the most logical sense in order to keep the business going and to be as efficient as possible. Some things I want to bring to the county, looking at a county commissioner standpoint, I want to help go through the budget. Numbers is something I understand. Whenever I was in high school, I had Miss Leanne Hayes for 4 years as a math teacher. And one thing that it just numbers click. I know how to do numbers. So I'm very excited to bring that benefit to the county and to help. I see the growth that's coming. The past 2 years, I've actually transitioned from the accounting side and I've worked as a project manager for Burnham Construction. Working as a project manager, you are the in-between between the developer and the construction company. I'm the one in the middle, sitting in the meetings, and they're the ones that cussing me out because we're 2 weeks behind schedule. They're never happy that we're ahead of schedule, but it's always they're mad that we're behind schedule. You can't make them happy sometimes. But that's me. And so building the relationships with the developers and understanding their needs and understanding the needs of our construction and as fast as we can get there, that's been one thing that I've thrived on here lately. It's just building the relationships with the people. Understanding their needs, understanding our needs, and how we can all make it work at the end of the day to the benefit of it. So as far as growth goes, I see it. I work in St. Johns County the majority of the time, and I see the growth and the infrastructure issues that they have faced over their past, just say 10 years. It has blew up down there. I was recently talking to a Clay County ex-commissioner, and I said one thing, I was like, man, what would you do differently? I said, coming from a younger person's perspective, what would you do differently now that you're sitting back and you've retired for 8 years? What would you have done different? He gave me some really great advice, and he said, you better get ahead of it. And that's one thing that I'm really excited for, is getting ahead of it, because I see the inner workings of how it all happens through the counties. That's one thing I want to bring to the table and really get done. I see it coming. It's not if, but when. And how can we make it as beneficial as possible for me, you, and every citizen here in Baker County? That way it doesn't cost us anymore. It doesn't affect us inversely, So that's one of the things that I'm really excited about. Like I said, I've got a 2-year-old at home. What's the county going to be like in 20 years? I'm from Baker County, born and raised. I went to school and sat right over here somewhere at the cafeteria table. I love it here. And I want to make it the best possible. And then, 20 years from now, hand it over to the next generation. And so that's my spiel. I'm excited about it. I look forward to your support on August 20th. Thank y'all. God bless.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out on a Saturday. I know there's only 4 of those each month typically, so I appreciate you giving one of those to this function, and thank you to the press for putting it on. As mentioned, I'm Ann Watts. I am looking to serve you as the next county commissioner in District 3. And if you're familiar with the county commissioner seats, that's the seat that belongs to Miss Kathy Roden, and she served us well in this community, and she is retiring. I hold a master's degree in educational leadership, and I also have coursework at the PhD level. I am highly qualified with credentials. And in pursuit of all 4 of my degrees, I did that with high academic honors. I've been at Baker County for 38 years, and of those 38 years, I gave 30 years of my life to a professional career at the Baker County School District. I wore many leadership hats while there, including overseeing workforce development projects, handling personnel issues, managing local, state, and federal revenues. All of those things have different requirements whenever you're using them and when you're reporting on them. So it's important to have all that information in the background. Also worked with securing annual revenues through grant writing and grant management and building, collaborating with business partners. I also had the opportunity to represent Baker County on many various local, regional, and state level policy making and advisory boards, like the Baker County Land Planning Agency, the Regional 8 Workforce Board, the Florida Department of Justice Baker County Criminal Justice Board, and I've often attended legislative sessions in Tallahassee just to learn firsthand about the proposed laws that will impact small counties. There's lots of other projects that I've worked on that describe my professional leadership skills, and you can find those at watts4baker.com. I was also able to write grants that brought in over $5 million in revenues to Baker County, and those revenues help support local citizens in their salaries, their health insurance premiums, their retirement for a period of over 10 years. So that impacts our economic development as well. And I haven't forgotten how to find revenues and resources. So we know that when we can bring in new resources, we actually serve we actually reserve our reserves, right? We actually save the revenues we have, and we use those other funds to do what we would typically have to pay for out of our budgets. So what does this mean for the voters? It means that I bring the professional skills and experience to do all the parts that a county commissioner does. So what does a county commissioner do? They set policies and they set ordinances that impact us all. They have budgetary oversight. Again, knowing what those budgets can be used for, what they can't be used for, and how you can braid them together to do a lot with a little. That's important. They set and approve the millage rate for property taxes, and that impacts us all as well. And they represent citizens' interests and advocate for community needs. As a county commissioner, I'm able to commit my full time to that. I'm an engaged leader, and I promise all my dedication to work with the constitutional officers, the other county commissioners, state and federal organizations that can help us with resources and help us problem solve, our county departments and the citizens, which is you, to seek resources and to solve the ongoing issues in our county. Yes, growth is coming, and whatever we decide, it has to be sustainable. It has to be doable, sustainable, and it has to be informed. On August 20th, I would appreciate your vote for Ann Watts as your selection for County Commissioner, District 3. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, I'm Julie Cruz Johnson, and I'm running for Baker County Judge. And this is a big deal, as Jessica said, it's the first time we've had a judicial election here in over 30 years. I am educated, I am experienced, and I am invested in this community, and that's why I feel that I'm the best choice for your next Baker County Judge. And I hope to earn your vote on August the 20th, and I hope to serve you as your next Baker County Judge, and I have the qualities to serve you all well. I am educated. I grew up here in Baker County. I'm a lifelong resident. Multiple generations of my family have lived here, and I am invested in this community. I went to school right here in the Baker County school system. I graduated number 2 in my class and went on to the University of North Florida to receive a degree in economics and criminal justice with a 3.96 GPA, summa cum laude. About 3 weeks later, I started my law school career at the University of Florida, Levin College of Law, where I graduated in December of 1999, number 10 in my class out of 133 students graduating at that time. I graduated with honors. I was invited to be a member of the Order of the Coif, the Order of the Coif, which is an honor bestowed on those people graduating in the top 10% of their law school class. And I was recognized among who's who among American legal students. Thankfully, I graduated with honors and I chose to come back to our community and to serve. So I have the experience and education, rather, necessary to serve as your Baker County Judge and to serve well. I am an attorney. I have been an attorney for 24 years. I've worked at the last 21 years here in our Baker County system as an integral part of our criminal justice system. I serve as an assistant public defender, a public defense attorney. I do not get to pick and choose the clients that I represent or the cases that I handle. Rather, I accept everyone as the person that they are, and I strive to treat them, their families, the victims in their cases and their families, as well as our law enforcement community, our clerk's office, and all of the people that come through our criminal justice system with fairness and dignity, with civility and respect. I have to tell people hard information. I have to lead people to make choices and difficult decisions. But I do that with compassion and with grace, and I'm truly blessed. I have been the lead counsel in over 55 cases that have gone to trial. I have sat co-counsel on over at least 30 more. I've represented tens of thousands of people in mental health hearings and mental health cases at Northeast Florida State Hospital. I have the experience necessary to serve as your Baker County Judge and to serve well. I'm also invested in this community. As I said, I'm a lifelong resident. I've been married to my husband, Craig, who is also a multi-generation resident of Baker County for 27 plus years. We have 3 children, Wade, who's 24, Sydney, 20, and Will, 17. During the course of my lifetime, I have been giving back to this community since middle school through school projects. I have spent countless hours in concession stands supporting our Wildcat baseball and basketball teams, as well as similarly supporting our Wildcat cheerleaders, which my daughter was a part of. I am a proud Rotarian. I have served this community. I have raised funds for important projects here, such as the Council on Aging and the Isaiah House. I am a proud Sunday school teacher at St. Mary's Catholic Church. I've done that for over 17 years, and the last 10 years of that, I have actually been in charge of that program, making sure that we have the teachers and supplies necessary to provide our students and our children in our church to let them learn about the life of Christ and hopefully imitate the life of Christ and be the best Christian that they can be in our community. I am invested in this community. I love this place. Baker County is my home. You are my people. I have the ability to converse and communicate with people from all walks of life. And I will take that ability and those communication skills into this next upcoming job, the job of Baker County Judge. I have been blessed to receive endorsements over the last 6 months and lots of encouragement before that to run for this office from my local Baker County citizens. And I appreciate that. I am humbled by it, and I'm amazed at the work that people have stepped up to help me do. It's not just anybody who will stand and sweat on the street corner with you, holding a sign and waving and knocking on doors, so I appreciate you. I've been endorsed by people who are teachers, people who are law enforcement, both present and retired, bankers, and people all across the system, all across our community. I am educated, I am experienced, I am invested in this community, and I will treat people equally and fairly. I have earned your vote, and I am right for this job, and I humbly request your vote for Julie Cruz Johnson for Baker County Judge on August the 20th. Thank you. My father's family survived the Japanese invasion of World War II by hiding in the jungles of the Philippines, where his mother died in childbirth. He went on to graduate high school and college, and as a young man, he seized on the opportunity to enlist in the United States Navy. He began as a steward at the shining shoes of the officers and came near the trainings. He would describe to us as children how he studied and worked his way up, becoming a petty officer, a senior chief petty officer with over 26 years of service when he retired, and honorably serving in Vietnam. He settled our family in Jacksonville, close to NAS Jax, where he and my mother raised me and my sisters, and he worked in local government. My mother also graduated high school and college and worked to support our family. She and my father were both dedicated public servants, and they instilled that same passion in me. My sisters and I were raised in a strict, conservative, patriotic home that valued faith, family, service, and most importantly, education. We were not poor nor wealthy. There was money for piano lessons, but not for name brand clothes. My parents' focus was for us to obtain our education in order to be successful and to be good citizens. I share this background with you because I believe that how I was raised is more important than where I was raised. My family story is that of the American dream, the one where a person through hard work, perseverance, and good character has the opportunity to chart a course and be successful in their own right. I became a county judge through those qualities of hard work, perseverance, and good character. I graduated from Stanton College Preparatory High School, earned my Bachelor of Arts in Criminology and History as a double major in 3 years from the University of Florida, and my Juris Doctor from Loyola University College of Law. I served as a prosecutor for over 14 and a half years before I became judge, working as a state attorney at the state attorney's office and being a part of the system of law and order. As a prosecutor here in Baker County, I was entrusted with the authority of the state of Florida to bring criminal charges if the evidence permitted, and I was similarly responsible for making decisions not to pursue charges if the evidence was insufficient or it was not in the interest of justice to pursue those charges. As a prosecutor, I had experience and was trained in balancing the rights of all involved, the victim, the defendant, and the state of Florida whose laws have been broken. When making decisions about cases, I always respected the constitutional and legal rights of all persons. My service as a prosecutor laid a strong foundation for my service as county judge. I had the experience of having wielded the government's authority and having used my discretion and thousands of cases to bring forth justice. It was not my job to simply obtain convictions, but to serve the public interest, acting with integrity and balanced judgment to increase public safety. For over 2 years, I have continued to serve the public interest as your county judge, and as the solo county judge, I handle a myriad of cases in a day's work. For over 2 years, I have educated myself in areas of law that I did not practice in as an attorney, and in that process, I have updated court processes and implemented new forms to comply with statutes and promote efficiency. In 2023, I had a 99% clearance rate of cases disposed versus cases filed. And also working through daily issues that come before the court, I have developed relationships with other judges across the state which benefit Baker County. It should come as no surprise to you that I am already considered a leader in outreach, and I have been appointed by the president of our state conference of judges to serve as the vice chair of both the outreach and solo judges committees. My life's work has involved public service and community involvement. I have always gone the extra mile and been involved outside of academic studies and work pursuits. While judge, I have created partnerships in our community and innovative outreach programs that bring the courts into our community and schools. I am not an ivory tower judge who sits on the bench and you never see outside the courthouse. I invested in our community long before becoming judge. The appointment process I went through to become your judge was rigorous and lengthy. I submitted a 71-page application containing background, education, personal references, financial disclosure, writing sample, and personal statement. The governor that this county elected by a 20-point margin selected me to fill the vacancy. It was an appointment of merit, nothing more or less. I stood up for the people of Baker County, the rule of law, and victims of crime in this community before anyone knew who I was or cared about who I was. Baker County is my home. You have welcomed me, and I have devoted countless hours and energy to being a part of our community, both professionally and personally. I am the first female county judge in Baker County history. Let's continue to make history together. I ask for your vote this August and that you keep me Baker County Judge.
Thank you to the Baker County Press for the opportunity to be able to come and be able to speak about this position. As superintendent of schools, I know it's a very important position because of what it represents. It represents a future for our students and the direction that they will start towards in their life and what they're going to bring back to Baker County one day as productive citizens. And so the school system is very, very important. And I take that very important. One of my biggest dreams at one time in my life was to be able to work with students. I switched gears when I was in college, changed my mind, decided I wanted to be a teacher, and I love sports, so I flip-flopped and became a teacher. I went to the University of Florida, graduated, came back to Baker County home to be able to work with students because I love working with them. 22 years I've served in the classroom as an athletic coach. During those times, had many great experiences working with kids, getting to see them fulfill their dreams, their desires. And so even driven buses to be able to take them all over the state of Florida to athletic events, to be able to go on field trips and those types of things. I've served as a school leader, as a principal for 8 years at Baker County Middle School, Baker County High School. This is my old stomping grounds over here. I almost feel like I have an advantage being here because I'm back home. This was a cafeteria that I spent many hours in as we dealt with students and had an opportunity to share and for them to tell us about what they wanted to do one day in life. And I wanted to be the person to be able to help them fulfill their dreams. Some things I didn't share last night in our event. I'm married to Kelly Murphy, who is the principal at Westside Elementary. I have 3 children that all graduated from Baker County High School. My oldest son, Brian, he teaches here at Baker County High School. My mother, when she was living, she passed away a couple of years ago, she taught at McClenny Elementary, where the old elementary was there, right next to the superintendent's office. And so our family is dedicated to working and seeing how important it is to bring that education to students so that they can fulfill their dreams. With my experience, I feel like it's very important because I see in my roles that I've had, and I talk about being a principal and seeing the school roles,
want to switch gears and go back just a little bit. Served for the last 4 years as a director of teaching and learning, and now as the associate superintendent of schools. And so in those different roles, I've seen the day-to-day ins and outs of how the school system works. I've been there, I've been a part of it. I know the struggles that teachers have in the classroom, and I want to bring them the help and the support that they need to do their job and to help educate our students as best as possible. At the district level, I'm not working as closely with teachers or with students as I did before, but I'm able to do things on that side to be able to bring those supports as well. And I'll give some examples that I didn't share last night. For the last 4 years, I've been in charge of 2 grants, a Title II and a Title IV grant, which brings funds into our community to be able to help give teachers professional development and also to be able to help with projects directly related to our students. Almost over $1 million, just over $1 million per year come in through those 2 grants. And in the last 3 years, once COVID hit and we started having all these issues with it, the federal government had a number of grants, and I've been on a team with that's brought in over $20 million into our community. And I'll show you some of the things, or tell you some of the things that we've been able to do with that we could not do in Baker County with our regular budget, just because we don't have that much money. We don't have a big tax base. And so we've re-roofed schools. We've done air conditioning right here in Baker County High School. You feel it, it's nice in here. That was done. We've done playgrounds, floors. We've done all kinds of improvements to our facilities through those funds. And I'm proud to be able to say that I was a part of that, to be able to support our community. Another thing that I want you to know is that I'm a man of faith. I've dedicated my life to making decisions based on biblical principles found in God's Word. Not only in my life, in my personal life, but also in my professional life. And I would continue to do that as superintendent of schools as well. And so I would appreciate your support. I know early elections begin August the 8th, and unfortunately, you won't see me out waving on August the 8th because myself and a team of 4 other people are going to be in Tallahassee submitting to DOE plans to be able to build Baker County Middle School and get hopefully $70 million to be able to do that with special facility funding. And so I ask for your prayers in that situation coming up on August 8th. Thank you. Appreciate your support.
Thank you. Hey, Jessica, it was 96 the last time that there was a sheriff, a school superintendent, and a county judge on the ballot. I bet some of y'all remember that. So it has been a while since we've had such a big election cycle. But my name is Wyatt Milton, and I am running just as hard as I can to become your next superintendent of schools here in Baker County. I am a lifelong resident of Baker County, Florida. It is my home. It has been my family's home, and the values that this community represents are things that I hold near and dear to my heart. We are a conservative community. We are a faith-based community, and we are a community that supports each other when the going gets rough. And as your superintendent, I certainly will translate those same qualities into my leadership. I have spoken extensively over my campaign about my experience level. I've been a teacher, a school administrator, now I'm a district level administrator. Today I want to talk about proven leadership. We can say experience is measured by years, but true leadership is based on results. And I have been results driven as an individual throughout my career. As a teacher, I was so dedicated. I was involved in so many numerous student organizations and clubs. I was voted Teacher of the Year by my peers. I'm a Florida Seal of Excellence educator. As an administrative staff member at Baker County Middle School, my main responsibility was student discipline and helping with instruction. During my time at Baker County Middle School, we saw a 10-year low in disciplinary offenses. I renewed that focus on firm, fair, and consistent discipline across the board, and we made a difference. We supported teachers, and we supported students. I also was involved in making some scheduling changes. We instituted a homeroom program for every student at Baker County Middle School so that they could meet their social and emotional needs were being met. Because my goal as a school leader is to create good citizens of good character that are going to come back and invest in this community. I was promoted to District Director of School Transportation, and anybody that knows anything knows that school transportation is a rough department. One of my friends, Pam Taylor's in the back, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. But when I got to transportation, we had a driver deficit. We weren't able to get students to school. But I was as avid in my recruitment efforts, and thank the Lord, He sent me the people we needed. And I'm so proud to say, this year we did not have to cancel any bus routes. We didn't experience any major delays on transporting students. We created a proactive approach to discipline. When I got moved to transportation, I asked the superintendent if she would let me handle as much discipline there as I could, because I knew my job was to support those drivers. And we did. We created a model of in-house handling of discipline on those school buses. And the purpose of that was to make sure that we looked for the greater good of all students, and we promoted the safety and welfare for every student in the Baker County School District. I'll go ahead and move on to some of what my plans are as your next superintendent. I have tried to run my campaign to show the voters of Baker County just what kind of leader I would be. I have worked hard campaigning, meeting as many folks as I can. I have been innovative, and I have valued people and families of this county. And so that is my leadership style. I will always put children first and be proactive in my leadership. I have a 3-point plan that's relatively simple. It's improve discipline, improve academics, and improve infrastructure. We've heard our county commissioner candidates speak about what they were going to do to be proactive for growth. Folks, that's coming to the school system too. It's coming. We've got several developments on the table right now that are going to have a great impact on this school system. And what it's going to take is a leader that is dedicated 24/7 to the service of this school system. And so that is what I can promise you. A lot of you have met me over the years through my interactions in the school. I've attended many ball games and sponsored clubs and built floats and just did whatever I could to be involved in the education system here. It truly has become my identity. I'm identified as a teacher, as part of the school system. And so I'm asking the voters to take a look at the candidates for school superintendent. And I'm asking you to look and measure which candidate will work the hardest for you and your child, and which candidate will be the best long-term investment for your tax dollars. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for this time. I certainly would appreciate your vote on August 20th, and I promise you I will work as hard as I possibly can to further the positive educational experiences of students in Baker County. Thank you.
Good morning, neighbors. First, I want to thank God for allowing me to participate in this political process. I also want to thank the Baker County Press for organizing this event. Folks, my campaign was born out of need. The need of the county for an honest and moral sheriff's office led with integrity, expertise, and selfless focus. For equal enforcement under the law, a command staff that is engaged with the entire community, a competent leader providing fresh ideas for recurrent problems. The need of the Baker County Sheriff's Office for advanced training, better benefits, fair and equal promotional process and discipline, and most of all, a command staff that leads by example, free from hypocrisy. I am concerned over the issues facing this election season, and I cannot be a part of discussing them at a whisper anymore. I have run my campaign on transparency, and it's time to be reminded of what that looks like. Florida state statute states that a sheriff is responsible for the neglect and default of deputies. The state of the Baker County Sheriff's Office and the jail sits squarely on his shoulders. Multiple employees fired for criminal sexual misconduct. Several lawsuits pending for the mistreatment of federal inmates. Jane Doe versus Baker County, and a new lawsuit pending, and no one has talked about, that resulted from an officer sexually assaulting a female inmate. An independent report published calling death of 2 inmates in the Baker County Jail preventable. It says Scotty saved over $7 million. Folks, you can't brag about saving money on a light bill or a house that's going into foreclosure. In 2016, Scotty wrote and promised the commissioners that he would go to a flat rate budget, which he did when he took office. You heard the sheriff complain about the $2.8 million budget that he had to deal with over the past 7 years. That budget is his own doings. He promised a flat rate. He promised not to raise it, not knowing of the ramifications. Now he's claimed to have saved $7 million a year, yet the BCCMC is running $1 million a year deficit. He has knowingly underestimated the budget and is now trying to claim that as a victory by pointing at the county commissioners and the BCCMC board and question about the jail's financial failure. You heard him say they had to do away with accreditation because of his budget. The fact is, it's cheaper to keep accreditation than to achieve it. And there were grants and scholarships in 2017 that would allow him to keep that at no cost to the county. The other reason he gave was so that he could hire people quickly, which I'm assuming were outside normal processes and qualifications. That should not be. The real reason he did away with accreditation is to get absolute and unquestioned control without oversight. We see that in how he did away with merit and knowledge-based promotions and went strictly to promotion by appointment. He wants to get credit for putting officers in each school, but that was required by legislature in 2018. He would like to get credit for the raise in the salary for the deputies. This was also done by our governor for the Freedom Force budget for constrained counties. The retention rate among all officers in Baker County is horrible, and even worse when it comes to minorities and women. Uninvestigated claims of sexual harassment, discrimination, and mistreatment are currently looming. You have heard me talk about bringing funding options to Baker County. I've spoken about safe money, and I've spoken about HIDA funding. That could have been awarded to Baker County. He states he has an officer at HIDA, that's not exactly true. That detectives at the TSO assigned to DE, and they report their stats out. Sheriffs of Duval, Nassau, St. John's, Clay, Marion, Alachua, and Columbia County have all been there. Not just having officers there, but themselves come to the meetings and are part of the board and are receiving funding and equipment from HIDA. That is why it's important for the Sheriff of Baker County to always be present and be engaged. He says he is expecting the citizens' tax dollars, that his appointed staff gets new Tahoes and decked out trucks so they can use. Meanwhile, his transport vans have over 200,000 miles on them. We have operational needs, folks, before election years. He says training is a budget item and if you can't afford it, we have shown you how that can be achieved by no additional funds. Domestic violence has seen a 111% increase recently. There are so many other causes than drugs and alcohol. We have to continue to partner with the Hubbard House, Hope Center, churches, and other programs for education and prevention, and we must seek new solutions. We also need to be completing threat assessments to cut down on repeat offenses and identify those who need services and may not even know that they qualify for them. He has not been a leader of BCSO we have needed, and he has not solicited that help for this county. There are too many issues to discuss in the 5 minutes they give us to speak here, but I'm here for you, Baker County. I've invited you to my home and given you my cell number so I can share my vision with you. When I say I'm running on transparency and solutions, that is exactly what I mean. I am always available to answer your questions. This election means too much to lead to a popularity contest. I am the fresh set of eyes on old problems. I am the new tree with fresh leaves, and I am dedicated to the professional law enforcement that this Baker County deserves.
I am Short Slater, and I have been married to my wife Terry for 25 years. We have 3 wonderful children that I'm very proud of. I was elected in 2017, and in 2016 I made promises to people in Baker County, and we've kept those promises. And that's by working hard, keeping our community safe, our schools safe, and that's the things that we're going to continue to do when I'm re-elected. What I'd like to say to this is, it doesn't sound like I've done a lot, but we've done plenty to keep our community safe. We've added deputies, we've added detectives to our drug enforcement people. We went out there and aggressively went after drug dealers to put them in jail where they need to be. We partnered with the Hope Center, Baker Prevention Coalition, Teen Challenge, to get people with addiction the help they need to beat their addiction. And that's how you make progress with the drug problem that we're facing right now. We have went out and got more money. We went through grants. We've got over $3 million in grants to help offset the tax expenses. We have worked in our jail to make our jail better. We inherited a mess. Let me make that clear. And that mess is not going away. But we have made it better. Before we got there, people, we spent $10 million on county reserves to pay for inmate costs. Not one dime has come out of the inmate reserve since I've been there. and that is a true statement. And I'm proud of that, because the county was going broke for taking care of things out there. They weren't even paying their bills. We were behind in our medical bill, $1.3 million. We were behind in our food service, $700,000. We had $150,000 going out the back door in our staff cafe. Things were changing and things were being done when I took office, and it was a tough job, and we turned it around. We were paying our bills on time, we were paying the debt service down, and I'm proud of the job that we've done. There's so many things that we've done, but I won't address because I don't want to run out of my 5 minutes. We're being attacked negatively. Me, myself personally, on the job I've done, my administration, what they've done, and the employees of what the job is being done there. Let me tell you something, employees that's here today, and the ones that's listening on camera. I'm proud of the job we've done. I'm proud of what we've done in the past 8 years. Baker County is proud of the job we've done. Do not let that stuff discourage you. Secondly, to the citizens of Baker County, I made promise to you in 2016. I'm making promises to you today that I'm going to lead Baker County. Baker County is going to be a safer place for every child, every person in Baker County, no matter who you are, whether you're new or old. I'm going to love you and I'm going to take care of you just like I would the people that's been here all their lives. And that is a promise from me that you can take and you can count on it. We also, I'm proud of the things we've done here in our school system. We put a school resource officer in every school. We work closely with our county commissioners and our school board to make that happen. That's what, it takes funding, it takes patrol cars, it takes other expenses just to put them in here. Those are the things that he doesn't know about. That's what it calls working together to make things happen, because you know why? The school was where your children go, and that is the place that we need to protect the most. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get the resources here to make sure every child and every student, every staff member is safe while they come here to study. And that's not going to change. I just want to tell people here today, I would love to have your support on August the 20th. To continue to be your sheriff in a place that I love, a place I've called home for 53 years, and I'm not going anywhere no time soon. I love you. Thank you. May God bless each and every one of you. And I look forward to continuing to be